I wasn't ready. I go back in. Welcome to Geek Zone Wrestling podcast that, two wrestling fans who just want to talk wrestling. And in case you didn't figure it out by the intro, we are discussing the Royal Rumble.
Yes, that is what, 2 weeks?
13 days.
13 days. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This is Sunday, and the Royal Rumble is 2 weeks from yesterday. We have Saturday night's main event coming up this coming Saturday, which, I personally believe is just to try and give a little extra time to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I'm sorry, premium live event.
Yeah, see, I remember when pay-per-views used to happen on Sundays. Now they have premium live events on Saturdays.
Well, because they're like during like football season and stuff, they didn't have as big of a viewership, so.
Well, and at the time, a lot of their viewers were kids who had school the next day.
But it technically, I do feel it's a pay-per-view because I still pay for the premium, for the streaming service that the premium live events are on. Therefore, I do pay in order to view. But I also pay to view a bunch of other stuff too, so whatever.
We're not going to talk about that, though.
So, we do have, aside from the men and women's Royal Rumble matches so far, even though it's less than 2 weeks away, we have one confirmed match on the card. And I even double-checked on WWE.com, 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, one match.
And that is Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
So clearly the men's Royal Rumble is going to take about 45 minutes.
The women's Royal Rumble match
is going to take 45 minutes, and the Cody KO match is going to take an hour and a half.
No. Hour each. I mean, let's face it. KO's out of shape. Actually, he's in a pretty round shape.
Which is still a shape.
Yeah. But I know this because he does a cannonball. And it literally says ball.
So let's talk about this. KO and Cody. Ladder match. What are your predictions?
Someone is going to climb the ladder.
I'm going to take it one step further. See what I did there? Step,
yes,
ladder. So someone's going to climb up the ladder, and they're going to grab a belt that's hanging from the rafters.
Oh, and then after that, the bell will get rung. See what I did there? Because of ladders.
So seriously though, who's going to win?
Cody.
Cody. Why do you say Cody?
I think Orton's going to come back.
See, I think Orton's going to come back, but I think he's going to come back in the Rumble match.
But I think, well, it depends. Which match is first? Are they going to do the men's Royal Rumble match, or are they going to do the ladder match?
I'm going to predict that they do the women's Rumble first, then the men's Rumble, then the world title. That would make the most sense to me. But because that makes the most sense to me, what's probably going to happen is they're going to do the men's Rumble first, then the world title match, then the women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and then at the end, they'll have this, the show will end with, Charlotte Flair coming back and being like, hey, what title you don't go for, I get.
No,
they've announced she's coming back soon.
Yeah, she's going to come back and say, it's Tiffy, your time's up.
Yeah, she's going to come back, and there's going to be a women's championship match that no one expected, and it's going to be over in 10 seconds.
Something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, if the world title match is before the Royal Rumble, I think Orton interferes, takes out KO, Cody retains.
Okay.
Because KO quote unquote, took out Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that was like a legit, hey, Randy hurt himself again, so we needed to write him out, or it was just part of the story, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's all up in the air, but at the same time, like, the way they're playing it,
Yeah.
KO took out Orton. So it would make sense.
No, I mean, story-wise, he did.
Right.
But I don't know if, like, that was the original story, like, from the get-go, and they were just giving him a break. Or if, like...
If he legit got hurt.
Yeah, and they had to sort of, like, improvise.
Yeah, call an audible.
So, if he is not legitimately hurt, eventually I feel he's going to come back and, get retribution. Ladder match, no DQ.
What would you say to the idea that Orton would come out and make it look like he's about to interfere and hit Owens and then turn around and hit Rhodes?
I don't think he would do that. I think what would happen in that sort of case, Orton comes out. What I would like to see, now, obviously, just because I would like to see it does not mean it's going to happen. Highly likely it won't. But I would like, KO somehow, has Cody on the side, out of the ring, whatever, and he has the opportunity to climb up the ladder. Well, as he's going up, Orton appears out of nowhere, pulls his leg off the ladder, RKO's him. He's done it before.
He has?
Boom. Orton eliminates the potential threat to Cody's title. Then,
that would have a storyline with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Well, they already have that storyline. But this would give the retribution. Then, like, say, Elimination Chamber, Orton, Owens, and 4 other dudes in the Elimination Chamber. Royal Rumble winner picks Gunther as the person that they're going to face. In the Elimination Chamber, Orton wins it and goes on to face Cody at WrestleMania for the title. And the person that he pins in order to do that, KO.
I don't see that, and here is why.
I told you that it's what I wanted, but it was highly likely not to happen. I told you that from the get-go.
Yeah, I know, but here's why. For all intents and purposes, last Mania set up the story that is expected for this Mania. Roman and Solo, and then, or Roman and Rock, and then Cody and probably KO again. I don't see, like, if Orton comes out and gets his retribution, so to speak, on KO, that's going to start a feud with KO, because we know KO's character. He's not going to take that and just let it go.
That's what I'm saying.
That's going to set up a storyline between them.
I'm saying that the two of them have that rivalry. It goes into Elimination Chamber, and Elimination Chamber ends it because Randy Orton pins him in the chamber to get that number 1 contendership opportunity. And then, after he beats Cody at WrestleMania, again, my personal preference, it's not because I'm biased against Cody.
It's because you love Randy.
Yeah. And I would love for him to, win that title, because, sort of like Cena, He said he wants to do this in, like, like all these years down the road. He can't. I'm sorry. He's going to end up paralyzed. And I don't want him to be RK Draws. I don't.
Too soon, dude. Too soon. It will never not be too soon.
No. See, I like, Draws may not have had the, huge stardom destined for him, but he was still, he was amusing, and it really sucked what happened to him.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that he still doesn't blame D'Lo for it.
Well, now he doesn't blame anybody. He's dead.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. He never did. He
No.
never blamed D'Lo for it.
No, he did. He just kept it on the D'Lo.
Oh, jeez. So what about
no? It just shows how good of a person he was.
What about the thought of Cody versus Cena at Mania?
Don't like it.
Okay. Why not?
Don't like it. It's just I don't like it. I can't really explain it. It doesn't.
It doesn't sit with you.
I don't see it. I just.
Well, of course not. It's John Cena.
I would still see Cody. No, the reason I want it to be Orton is because of the history and the chemistry that the two of them have.
Well, there's also the implication of the title reign record.
With Cena, yes. But Cena also has all year.
He does.
I don't think it has to be Mania.
But Orton also is... He's up there. He's got a couple more to win to do it, but...
3 in order to set the record. He's at 14 right now.
Right. So he would need 3 more.
Like, say he won at Mania, that would be 15-time world champion.
And then he loses it on Raw, and then he wins it back on SmackDown, and then he...
No. I just... Cody and Roman... No, not Cody and Roman. Cody and Orton, like, when Cody came in, he was paired with Orton and DiBiase Jr. in Legacy.
Yeah.
Orton was like his mentor and everything. So having the two of them face off for the World Championship at WrestleMania all these years later, for me, is just poetic. Granted, based off of that story, Cody should still come out on top. But it's Randy Orton, so screw that.
So what about the thought of the other storyline that seems to have been ditched since Netflix became the Raw station of Cody versus Rock?
See, I don't think that got ditched because of the Netflix. I think something happened behind the scenes because, like, on the Netflix thing, everyone saw Rock talking with Roman and Cody, and they're like, oh, like, he doesn't even remember that he's supposed to be feuding with him or whatever. And on NXT, he said everyone needs to just shut up and realize that The Rock is thinking like 3 moves ahead and enjoy the ride The Rock's taking you on. I think something else came up and they had a better idea. I don't think it was necessarily because of Netflix. But The Rock basically turned face. At least for now.
Clearly, because I mean, when he came out on Netflix, he was boasting about Cody and hugged him on the way out and all this, that, and the other.
Well, but again, he is also a shareholder or board member or whatever
at TKO.
On TKO.
Yeah.
So, like Triple H even said, we're not trying to hide the fact that, this is scripted, that, you know, this isn't like the old days where you had to stick to your character anytime you were outside of, your home or hotel room or whatever. If you were in public, you were this character and it was real.
Right.
We all have lives. Just because we're rivals on screen doesn't mean we don't get along behind the scenes. I think, like I said, something happened and that they planned everything. What I would like to see at WrestleMania, and this is another like kind of selfish thing, is Cena versus Punk at Mania.
Cena versus Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because at this point, I feel like Punk is arguably at the best he can be right now.
At the best in the world, would you say?
And I'm nostalgic. So some of Cena's biggest rivalries, I want to have one more match during this last year. So I want him to have a final match with Punk. I want him to have a final match with Orton. I want him to have the final match, hell, even with The Rock.
I was just going to bring that up because...
But I'm thinking Rock Roman at Mania or Solo. I'm not really sure what they're doing with the Solo storyline right now.
Well, since he lost to Ulafala, yeah. I mean, there was... I saw rumors circulating that, Tama Tonga and,
Jacob
Loa,
Fatu and them.
and they're going to turn on him the way he turned on Roman, because when you lose, there's consequences, right?
So, I'm wondering if Rock isn't going to, like, sort of last WrestleMania was Rock and Roman versus Cody and Rollins. What if now it's like Rock versus Fatu or something crazy like that?
What if it's Roman and Rock versus Solo and Jacob?
I also have one other thought that I was kind of hoping for. It seemed plans changed. Last year, the main rumor was the person that was going to interfere and take out The Rock was Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
And then that didn't work out, so Undertaker did it. What if this year we have one final Rock Austin?
That'd be interesting. I don't know.
Because there have been rumors that Austin's going to make a return to WWE soon. Not in a wrestling capacity.
But just show up.
Yes. So what it could end up being is the two of them have a shoot, promo, whatever, and maybe they have a, like a quick one-off little something at WrestleMania to, celebrate, what, they main evented 3 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
Epic rivalry. This might be a really good way to.
The two of them,
not necessarily memorialize, but like that would be epic.
It would.
And he literally said, enjoy the ride I'm taking you on.
That's true. He did.
Now, this is just, purely my imagination running wild and, my freaking childhood. That was my first ever main event. Rock Austin. So, for me to see the two of them in the ring at WrestleMania again, not even in a wrestling capacity, but just freaking shooting the shit, for me would be just like, I'm a freaking shit. I was like, preteen to teen.
I get that. I get that. I do. So here's
Actually, I don't even know if I was preteen yet.
here's my take. I think they give the title to Owens.
I don't.
I do.
I don't think they will, because it just, this whole build up of the two different titles. I think Cody's going to take that.
The winged eagle back.
Yeah. And then hopefully Cody will win it, or KO will win it, later this year. I would very much like to see him be champion again.
Well, I think it has been far too long since he has been. And they've built up this story now ever since, the whole Orton and Owens thing. And I think that the fact that he didn't get it before, when Cody was, hey, I want to give you the championship match. And he was like, oh, no, I haven't won anything, blah, blah, blah. I think they need to give it to him. I think they absolutely need to give it to him, because he has now established himself again as a solid heel.
I mean, he's been, in my opinion, one of the most consistently reliable superstars in WWE for the past half decade at least.
So that's why I think KO wins at Rumble. He gets the title away from Cody, and that's going to, piss people off enough that it puts him over even more as a heel. Because he stole one title. Now he wins that one?
I would like to see Cody in an Elimination Chamber match.
And that could very easily set that up.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be against it.
So, with that having been said, Women's Royal Rumble.
Boobs.
Do you see any surprises coming in?
Yes.
Who?
It wouldn't be a surprise if I knew.
Okay, so
now obviously there are going to be surprises. They always throw surprises in. Are you expecting some of them? Yes. Some of them are not really what you wanted, but you'd be like, whatever. It's like 2 years ago, maybe 3. It was Elias was first, and then Jeff Jarrett was second. Wasn't I think that was 2022. But anyway, like Jeff Jarrett, oh hey, cool.
So what surprises do you see happening in the Women's Royal Rumble match this year?
I'm expecting Jordynne Grace. She was in the last one. I'm expecting Jade Cargill to return. Charlotte, I don't know if she's coming back at the Rumble or if she'll be on SmackDown. But I'm expecting her back anytime now, because they already said she's coming back.
Well, and Ric Flair has alluded to the fact that she will be the one to break his record.
Yeah.
But you can only take what he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, he also said that, he is the greatest of all time. And some people will agree with that, but
some will.
I honestly believe that you cannot say that someone is the greatest of all time, because all times are different. So, like, in the days of, when Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and all them were in their prime, you didn't really have all the, like, the guys these days that can do all the things that Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, and all them do.
That's true.
So it's a very different time frame. You know, if you had Hulk Hogan in his prime versus Gunther now, you know, who's to say how it would go? Because they're two very different styles of wrestling world.
Yeah, the
It's like,
professional wrestling world has changed so much from when I started watching.
well, and it's like that with sports. That's like saying, Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Jordan was obviously the better.
I would agree with you. However, different time frame, everything's different. So who's to say if the two of them in their primes were to compete against each other?
Yeah, I
there's no
totally
way to
get what
tell.
you're saying.
It's like, in baseball, okay, like you've got, Aaron Judge hitting like, home runs all through the wazoo. Is he the greatest of all time? Well, he hits a lot of home runs, but Pete Rose had all those hits. Ricky Henderson had all those stolen bases. Everyone's great at something different. Doesn't mean that you're the greatest of all time. So for me, it's really hard to say that you're the best or greatest of all time.
I get that, and a
Also,
very good friend of mine would say, if you're the greatest of all time, you don't have to say it about yourself.
Yeah.
It's other people that will say it for you.
Also, like, certain people who think that they're the best there is, the best there was, and there ever will be, fuck them.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. He was one of my favorites. He really was. I loved Bret Hart for a very, very long time. I have
in the ring.
Yes,
I'm a fan.
Outside
of the ring,
not so much.
Not impressed. It seems to be full of ego and attitude.
Which was the era he was in.
I don't remember there being an ego era.
No, the attitude era.
He was actually
he was prior to that,
yeah,
but he ended up in
both. Anyway, we ended up going. We went full ADD.
Yeah. So, Women's Royal Rumble.
I would like to see. Usually they try to bring back somebody from, previous years.
And the legends.
Yeah. So I'm expecting like, Nikki Bella or Mickey James or, like someone like that who's quote unquote, retired.
Trish Stratus.
Well, what I would like to see, I don't know who all is going into the Hall of Fame, but I would really like to see Victoria come back in the Royal Rumble. Come in, like hit a couple other ladies, get eliminated, and then have them announce that she's going to be going into the Hall of Fame. I think she deserves it. And I just think it would be kind of like a neat little
send off.
Yeah.
There's a strong
I think she
rumor
deserves that to go into the Hall of Fame.
I'm not going to disagree with you there, but there is a strong rumor right now that it's going to be Gail Kim going into the Hall of Fame.
I would be surprised that she would allow it. They ended on very, very bad terms.
But again, this is a different time with a different group in charge.
Not McMahon.
So that could be very, very different.
I feel like Gail Kim got such a short stick.
She did?
She got shafted so hard, and not in the fun way.
No.
Um, I also heard a rumor that Karma is going to be in the Women's Rumble.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She's coming back.
It's a rumor.
Huh.
Or, Awesome Kong, depending on.
Yeah, what you want to call her. So, who wins the Women's Royal Rumble?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Because
I don't think it's going to be somebody who should win it.
okay, who do you think should win it?
Somebody who didn't just have a world title.
Somebody who didn't just have a world title.
Yep.
Who are we talking? There are a lot of women that didn't just have a world title.
Oh, there's also a rumor Alexa Bliss is coming back at the Rumble.
I've heard that as well.
I would like her to win it.
I would like for her to win it.
Expecting Liv.
I would like for Alexa Bliss to win it and then join the Wyatt Six. That would be the end all be all.
The rumor is they're aligning with Strowman because they both just went to SmackDown. The faction and Strowman.
I had heard that as well. Although I am also, confirmed for Saturday night's main event is Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. But yeah, I would love to see Alexa Bliss win it. I think, if I'm just being completely honest here,
First ever 2-time.
I think Nia Jax is going to win it.
Gross.
I don't want that to happen. I will hate it.
By the way, the reason I say gross is because, her push.
Yeah.
Not her. Because from everything I see, outside of her character, she is a wonderful human being. And, she deserves to have a lot. But I don't think her character deserves to be the main event
Status. I don't either, and that's why I'm saying I don't want that to happen. I would prefer if it didn't. But I think it's going to, because if you look at the storyline, Tiffy just cashed in on her. And what better way to get back at her?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's a story that basically writes itself.
Ooh.
You had a thought?
I did have a thought. She's expected to join the main brand. But Roxanne Perez could be in the Rumble.
Okay.
Because she and Bayley just started feuding.
Right.
So, it seems like she lost her title. Seems like she's going to the main roster. So she could be in the Rumble. That would be fun.
That would be quite possible.
Possible?
Possible.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
It's like a decibel of pie. All right, so Men's Royal Rumble.
Men's Royal Rumble.
Who do you think would be a surprise entrant? Or who would you like to be as a surprise entrant?
Surprise entrance. I don't know if it'll even be a surprise, but say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I want Joe Hendry in the Rumble.
Yes.
I want so badly to see him show up in the Rumble. I'll be honest, I would love to see him win the Rumble and go after Gunther.
See, here's what I would love to have happen. Somebody like walks out and says, what were you expecting, Joe Hendry? And then say his name and he appears. I think that would be awesome.
It would be fantastic.
Because, like, everybody wants it so bad. So you have someone else come out. And then they're like, oh, shit. If we were going to have someone from TNA, why couldn't it have been Joe Hendry? And then whoever it is.
Actually, it would work because
like
Booker T will be there, right? So if Booker T's there, he would be the one to say it. And then there he is.
Tell me he didn't just say that. Tell me he didn't just say that. Say his name. He said that. He said that, Booker. He said that.
So yeah, he is one that I absolutely would love to see show up and participate in the Rumble. Also, I have heard strong rumors of possibly the Hardys showing up, which again would be phenomenal. I've always loved their work.
You know what would be pretty awesome, though?
What?
Is if, like, one of them goes out into the Rumble, but both of them come out and it's like, you want to go? You can go. No, you can go. No, you can go. and then they're just like, and then like they argue for so long that the next person comes out and
it's the other one.
No, and then whoever comes out is like, would one of you just go in the ring already? They look at each other and they just turn and like deck him, and then they both go.
I think it'd be funnier as if they ran out that time for the next person to come out, and it turns out to be the other one. And they just look at each other and be like, eh, and they run in.
Another person, I guess technically TNA, I believe it's a contract of, by appearance, not necessarily a, hey, you're under contract. Matt Cardona.
Oh.
I would love to see Matt Cardona come back as he is now.
Not Zack Ryder? Not
as Zack Ryder.
So you don't want the woo, woo, woo?
No, I want his entrance theme to be no more woo. Or, like he goes to come out as Indie God. But just, especially like, with the agreement between NXT, but WWE and TNA. Because obviously, Royal Rumble still NXT is capable. So is TNA, because we've had Jordan Grace us
with her presence
in the Royal Rumble.
And NXT believed in Joe Hendry.
Oh, who doesn't believe in Joe Hendry?
Right?
But I think that would be super cool. Even if he doesn't come back to the company like full time, just have him be a guest in the Rumble. Come out. Just, it would be awesome.
There was an interview with him over the past week, and he literally said, if I showed up at the Rumble, the roof would blow off the place. So, I mean, there's that whole...
Well, that's the thing. Like, everybody loves Zack Ryder.
Right.
And then he went to the Indies. And I guess because everyone loves Zack Ryder, when he became, like, a Rough Rider, then everyone's like, holy shit, he's everything we liked and more.
Yep.
Like, he stepped up his game, and we didn't even know he could. But I think Zack Ryder was such a poorly written character because they didn't believe in Cardona.
Well, I mean, he was basically what Logan Paul started out as. I mean, he came off of like YouTube videos.
Well, but the funny thing is, he started off as like he and Kurt Hawkins were the Major Brothers, and they were the Edge heads. And then, they went off and they did their Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, and then they kind of like lost faith in him. Then he became an internet sensation, and then they're like, "Oh, people like this guy. We'll give it to him." Oh, hi, they got what they wanted. Let's take it back.
Yep. Which Vinnie Mac was really good at doing.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston.
No. He didn't take it back. He ripped it out of our hands.
Yeah, that is my least favorite decision. Anyways,
also another rumor is that Malachi Black is
coming back to WWE.
No longer under contract with AEW.
I heard that earlier this week as well.
So he may come back in the Rumble even if he's not under contract. Which, oh my God, would I love to see him just, because his music, everything was so cool in WWE. Just have him come out and fucking black mass somebody.
That would be very, very fun to watch. I would love to see him come back. I liked his character from day one. I loved his entrance. Everything about him was just phenomenal.
Another person that I would really enjoy seeing. Not that there aren't others in NXT that I would love to see crossover. But Nick Nemeth coming back. Just the former Dolph Ziggler.
I would love to see Dolph back in a WWE ring.
Comes back at the Royal Rumble, not to show off, not to show the world, but just to be a wanted man.
Well played.
Thank you.
But I have to admit, I really liked the show off. I loved the show off.
Well, but I don't want to have him come back to WWE for the Royal Rumble like a one-off, and then have to change the character that he's worked really hard to put over in TNA.
Well, that's true, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a one-off because they have a long-term contract now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's put a lot into this character, and one of the reasons that he wanted to leave WWE was because he felt like he had more to offer than what WWE saw in him. And that's when he did this whole one-man gimmick, and it's worked for him.
It has.
So I don't want to be like, hey, if you're going to come back in our ring, you're going to, revert to being a show-off.
So let's...
However, that doesn't mean that he can't come to the ring and, do nods. Like Cody hates Stardust, but he's still done.
Yeah.
And he even says, I don't know why I do this. But I think to him, it's rubbing it in people's faces that, hey, I got what I wanted.
Yeah. And it's another nod to, hey, this is where I was. This is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So let's say hypothetically, we both get one of our people, and Nick Nemeth comes back, and Joe Hendry comes back.
Whoa. What do you mean our people? I'm also for Joe Hendry.
Well,
so if Joe Hendry comes out, we both get our guy.
Yeah, but which one comes out with the TNA title? Because I know the two of them are fighting each other for it.
Well, hold on a second. I will look it up right now and see when they're fighting for it. If my fingerprint will decide to match. Never mind, I'm just going to use my password. While we're talking, this would be a perfect time for a certain idea that we had.
A certain idea that we had?
A certain idea that we had.
I was going to get into that after this because I wanted to get through the surprise entrance and the who wins, and then talk about.
But that would be a surprise entrant if it'd be my idea. Tonight.
It's happening tonight.
Genesis is live now. So,
I wish I was watching it. I'm not one to watch TNA very often at all, but because Joe Hendry is going for the title, I would like to see him win it.
I'm not going to pay $40 to watch halfway through.
Me neither. So at any rate, who wins at Royal Rumble?
I know who I want to win. Like, just because I want somebody to win it doesn't mean that they're going to.
But let's say, let's talk what you want to see and what you think will happen.
What I want to see is that, during all of this Royal Rumble hugabaloo, the everybody's been kind of on their own stories and hasn't really gotten the rivalries in the main titles except for KO. I would love to see a rematch of Sami Zayn and Gunther
Ooh,
at WrestleMania 41, but this time
for
for
the
the World
world title.
Heavyweight Championship instead of the Intercontinental.
That would be interesting. That would be very, very interesting.
That's what I want to see.
What do you think is going to happen?
Roman. Well, no, that
You think it's going to be Roman and Cody?
I don't know. If he faces The Rock, and plus that's 3 WrestleManias in a row, that's. But anyway, the point is, it's going to be somebody that, you know, has title opportunities, or Punk, or. I mean, I would accept McIntyre. Hell, I'd accept Rollins.
You make him sound like he's a participation trophy.
It's just. Sami Zayn hasn't won a world championship on the main roster.
I know.
Finn Balor lost the championship the night he won it. So, I mean, if it's going to be someone, I want it to be one of those two. The only problem is Finn Balor with the Judgment Day. I don't really see.
Don't see him as a main eventer.
Oh, no. Not that I don't see him as a main eventer. I don't see them having him win the Rumble. I would see, like him just feuding with Gunther if they have like Cody face someone else from the Rumble. I don't see him winning the Rumble. I would see him taking other avenues. I would. Those are the two that I would really want to win. Would be either Sammy or Balor.
I get that. Like, I love the idea of Sammy winning. I love the idea of Finn winning.
And like right now, one's a big face, one's a big heel.
Right.
But both of them are so overdue for a world title. I don't necessarily see Sammy as being, like world heavyweight champion and carrying the company on his shoulders and stuff. But I think that a good, 4 to 6 month title reign, he could do wonders with. And then, even if he lost it back to Gunther, it would still, I think he would put on the type of match deserving of a world title. I think Jey Uso could put on, a very brief world title run. Finn Balor, I know he's a small guy, but holy crap! At WrestleMania 35, he powerbombed Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
Like, the guy can put on matches of a world title caliber.
You will get no arguments from me on that.
The only reason that I don't want Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble is just I don't think he needs a Royal Rumble. The guy is over.
Oh, he's on fire, no doubt.
Like, if there was ever anyone who didn't need a Royal Rumble to get a title match, I think it's Jey Uso. Plus, the Saturday night's main event, he has the World Championship opportunity. If they have him lose that, then have him turn around and win the Royal Rumble, it's like Money in the Bank last year with Drew McIntyre. I feel it's wasted. Which is also why I feel that he should win Money in the Bank. But whatever. We're not to that pay-per-view yet.
No, not yet. So here's my take.
I'm not making a prediction for months from now, no.
So here's my take. My take is this. I think Jey loses at Saturday night's main event.
Well, I do too.
I think he enters Royal Rumble.
Uh-huh.
I would like to see him win Royal Rumble.
Meh.
Because that sets up a longer feud with Gunther than just, this week.
Meh.
Until Saturday night's main event. Yes, Jey is over. But to propel him into the world title hunt, he needs that one thing to happen.
And you know what that one thing could be?
Winning the Rumble, going to Mania, and winning the title.
Oh, no. Oh, having Uso in the bank.
Yeet in the bank.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They
Yeet
tried that
bank.
last year, and that didn't pan out.
No. But, again,
Now, this is what I would like to see happen.
What do you think is going to happen?
What I think is actually going to happen.
Swear to God, if you say Brock Lesnar comes back and wins it, I'm going to smack you.
Okay, I'm going to sit here quietly. It would not surprise me to see that happen. But what I think is probably going to happen is Solo's going to win it. And he's going to go after Cody. Or he's going to go after Roman, which leaves Cody to The Rock.
They've pretty much made I feel like if anybody's going to face The Rock, it's going to be Solo. Oh, what if The Rock wins it? Like literally, it would be 25 years after his last Royal Rumble win.
That would be interesting. But I don't see that happening. I really don't.
I don't know. He's in a position of power to make himself win.
He is, but he's also in many other positions within Hollywood that might not allow him to be there.
Yeah, especially since he's currently filming Moana 2.
So...
No, the live action. I'm sorry. Moana 2's already done.
So I don't know that could even be a possibility. But what I think they're going to do is put Solo in the driver's seat for the Rumble. And then he gets his world title opportunity against whomever is holding it at the time. So that they can continue this bloodline story. That's what I think is going to happen.
I just remembered something. Santino Marella's in TNA.
Oh, that would be so wonderful.
What is wrong with you people? Did you expect the Joe Hendry?
Say his name and he appears.
It's a Joe and Hendry. Or Hendry. God, I want him back in a WWE ring so good.
So as we were alluding to before, um, your favorite wrestling podcasters have a completely different idea for
Wait, who are
Royal
their favorite
Rumble.
wrestling podcasters?
That'd be us. I was I was alluding to us. Because if they're listening
Oh,
to
we're their
us,
favorites?
well, I mean, if they're listening to us, then they're just as demented as we are.
Or they just never found any other wrestling podcast.
Okay, fair point. But we came up with a wholly different storyline that fits everything that's going on right now in the WWE Universe storyline with these characters.
And it's kind of funny because it all started, like, I was at work and I had this thought and I texted him and then he's like, like, oh, and then this can happen. I was like, oh, and then this. And he's like, oh, and then this. And it's just like literally we bounced off of each other and we just, after that first thought that I had, we
ran with it and came up with the greatest storyline in the history of what should be WWE.
And originally I had an idea for like R-Truth would come out and whatever number he is, whatever, and he would go out either with a microphone or he would go up to the announce desk or whatever, and he would ask where the cell is because he thought it was supposed to be a cage match or cell match or war games.
Yeah, I said
Danny
no
suggested.
war games. and I'm here to help Team Cena, my childhood hero.
Yeah. And then, like, as we were talking about that, like, we just, because of his current WWE thing, we thought it would be great if he came out and eliminated Pete Dunne and then asked whether or not it was Pete Dunne or Butch. And then we thought, like, okay, well, then he goes back in the ring to try and get payback. But Truth accidentally eliminates him again and then claims he eliminated both Pete Dunne and Butch.
Ain't that a Butch?
Which, of course, would piss Pete Dunne off even more. And then he would attack R-Truth again.
So the remainder of the storyline, I started thinking, there is nothing I want more than an R-Truth World Heavyweight title run in the WWE. So I thought,
I don't know. WWE champion, I mean, it's got gold.
So
inside the gold.
So here's
rappers like gold.
Here's the other side of my story. I want him to be in the final three. It'd be John Cena, R-Truth, and Roman Reigns. And John Cena eliminates Roman Reigns. Something happens. R-Truth falls backwards into John Cena, eliminating him, and R-Truth wins the Rumble. He gets his world title reign, or his title shot, at the expense of John Cena, his childhood hero. And he's just as shocked as anybody else when he does it. Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry.
My bad.
That was on me. And then come WrestleMania, he is up against whichever championship holder he chooses. And at the climax of the match, out comes John Cena. And John Cena helps his fan since childhood win his first World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, this is John Cena's final run. R-Truth has never had a run. What better feel-good story could you have than the dude that this guy looked up to coming out and helping him win his first title?
Yeah. I mean, like, he remembers watching John Cena before John Cena was born.
And he could see him.
Yeah, I know, right? Of course, he can also see Little Jimmy.
But I thought that would be absolutely the greatest Royal Rumble story in the history of WWE. I mean, that has everything. It has comic relief. It has the pull on the heartstrings with the comic relief.
Or remember, if R-Truth comes out and asks where the metal structure, or eliminates Pete Dunne and asks if it was Peter Butch,
that was our idea.
yeah, it came from here. We had that first. Also, royalties are due. Get it? Royalties from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the idea. That is what I that is my ultimate dream, to see that happen. I think R-Truth is a talent that is so remarkable.
You know, there are people who think he's not funny.
There are?
Yeah, there are people out there that are wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't take away people's right to be wrong, but how?
They think that he's boring, predictable, yada yada. It's like,
I think he's freaking hilarious.
predictable, yes. And his unpredictability, you don't know what he's gonna say, and that's the best part.
Exactly.
He shows up, and you're like, "What's he gonna say?" You know he's gonna say something stupid, and that's why it's funny.
I get so giddy when that happens. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be great." I can't even fathom what he's gonna say.
God.
So yeah, that is what, if I was a writer in WWE, that would be my storyline. And that plays to everything that has happened since R-Truth started claiming Cena was his childhood hero. Tell me that's not long-term storytelling.
He needs to go face Cody Rhodes.
That would be wonderful. My nightmares, bees.
Spiders.
Spiders.
I don't like spiders, y'all. I'm agoraphobic.
And I'll be honest, I don't care.
No, he needs to come out and face Cody, and I know exactly why.
Go for it.
Hey, Goldust, you changed. You got smaller. Remember when we were the Golden Truth? That's my brother. Yeah, y'all, yeah, dog, we're brothers. I'm your brother. Or he could just, go face Walter at WrestleMania.
Walter.
But, the Golden Truth was briefly a thing.
Yes.
And
they were.
He needs to confuse Cody with Dustin.
That would be fantastic. I'm on board with that. He goes after Rhodes, brings that up. Cena helps him beat Rhodes.
Man, John Cena.
And I'll be honest, I couldn't care less if they have him lose it the next day on Raw. I just want to see him.
To Brock Lesnar.
Okay, fine.
Dude, if a black person wins a world title, Brock Lesnar takes it.
You're not wrong.
Unless you're Bobby Lashley.
I will grin and bear it. But
sorry, if Xavier Woods were to win it, Brock Lesnar would take it.
I want R-Truth to get a World Heavyweight Championship in the WWE so bad.
You know what would be an awesome match?
What?
R-Truth versus Kofi Kingston.
Oh my god.
Even if it's not for a title, but the athleticism that would be in that match.
You know what else would be a great match? R-Truth versus Santino Marella.
No, that would be an insanely amazing promo. And holy shit. R-Truth! Nah, dog, it's R-Truth. But I have multiple truths. Like, why
There
is
will
it
be
R?
no
What happened to
truce.
A truths and B truths and C truths?
There will be no truce if you don't stop talking to little Jimmy like that.
Stop talking to your imaginary friend. Little Jimmy ain't imaginary. Well, then where is he? He's right here. I do not see nobody.
Wait, John Cena's here?
John Cena? God.
That
Can you imagine that?
that is a duo.
No. Cena's in the Rumble. I'm going to eliminate you, John Cena. One more time. Have him come out and say John Cena.
And then get eliminated in 3 seconds.
Because he wasn't ready. No. He goes down to the ring, waits, gets into the ring, and looks at an imaginary watch. And then when he lasts longer than 3 seconds, he smiles and gets eliminated. I need him back. I need him.
I need the duo of Santino and R-Truth. I need the Morella.
Santrutho.
No, I need the Morella Truth. I need that. So, anyways, yeah, that's our Royal Rumble preview, thoughts, and our storyline that we want to see.
Yeah. Oh.
I think we've beaten the dead horse enough, and I think it's time to go and play some WWE 2K.
Or to go on Peacock and watch old Royal Rumbles.
Or watch old Royal Rumbles. So thank you to anybody
I just realized something.
What's that? You weren't ready?
No, I wasn't ready. With Kofi Kingston being a heel now, I don't know if we'll get a Kofi moment this year.
We haven't gotten a Kofi moment in.
They tried.
Years. Well, they tried, but it did not work. Which makes me sad because I used to look forward to that every single year. At any rate, thank you to everybody that listens to us. We hope.
Thank you, person.
We hope you enjoy, the one of you. We hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed our thought out storyline for Rumble.
And if you did, might I suggest that you seek mental help,
or that you call WWE and tell them to hire us onto the creative team. But thank you all for being here. We'll be back again after Royal Rumble to wrap things up on what actually happens.
Yes, we will be back.
Anything you want to say before we cut out?
No.
I'll be honest. I wasn't ready for that.